Okay, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve a word problem using a proportion. Let's look at this word problem. It says the residents of a city voted on whether to raise property taxes. The ratio of yes votes to no votes was 7-5. If there were 8,568 total votes, how many no votes were there? So this is clearly going to be a proportion because we see the word ratio. So we're told the ratio of yes votes to no votes was equal to the ratio of 7-5. And a ratio is just a fraction. So it might be tempting to just write the equation y over n, yes over no, is equal to 7/5. Now, this is true. Those two ratios are equal to each other, but how are we going to solve it? It's a single equation with two unknowns in it. We're not told how many yes votes there are, so we have two variables, and we can't solve a single equation with two variables. So don't be too hasty. Like with any word problem, we're going to first define our variable, and then see if we can get everything in terms of that variable. So to define the variable, we look for what is it that we're asked to find. We're asked to find how many no votes there were. So that's the variable I'm going to define. So I'm going to use n, and I'm going to write down, let n equal the number of no votes. Okay. So now what am I going to use for yes votes? I go back to the problem and I see that, well, there were a total of 8,568 votes, and everybody either voted yes or no. So the number of yes votes has to be 8,568 minus n. So I'm going to write that down. And now I can rewrite that equation without any y. So 8,568 minus n over n is equal to 7/5. And now, remember, a proportion is a special kind of equation where you have a single fraction equals another single fraction. So a fraction or rational expression on each side of the equation. So I'm not adding any fractions. There's no sum on either side, just a single fraction on each side of the equation. So that's a proportion. And one of the ways that we solve a proportion is we can multiply both sides by the least common denominator. In this case, that would be 5n. Or we can cross multiply. Now, you'll see in other rational equations that multiplying both sides by the LCD is the way to go, but you cannot use cross multiplication in other types of rational equations. The only type of rational equation where you can use cross multiplication is when you have a proportion. That's a single fraction equals a single fraction. So let's see how cross multiplication works. So what you do is you multiply the denominator of one side by the numerator of the other side, and vice versa, and set them equal to each other. So we would have 7 times n equals 5 times 8,568 minus n. That's the cross product method, and that only works on proportions, not other types of rational equations. So now, this is a linear equation, so let's distribute the 5 on the right side. We get 42,840 minus 5n. And then if I add 5n to both sides, I get 12n equals 42,840. And now if I divide both sides by 12, I get n equals 6,120. And that's the number of no votes. So now make sure you answer the question. There were 6,120 no votes. Okay, so remember, a proportion is a single fraction equals another single fraction. And you can use cross product or the LCD method. All right, happy solving.